Okay, if you're good with all the things that we've done so far, so we reviewed all about PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, and then we learned a strategy. We learned I don't like to call it a trick because it seems like somebody's tricking you. I'm call it a strategy. So whenever you deal with situations that involves fractions, then you may consider one thing, that is, hey, can we not do fractions? And we say, yeah, sure. Go ahead, multiply by the common denominator. Okay, that can ensure that you will not have any denominators afterwards. So we say, oh, let's go ahead, multiply by 6 on both sides. Let's go ahead, multiply by 10 on both sides. That would be very lovely. Now, the next two questions are going to be very straightforward, very straightforward. Okay, I just want to make sure that you understand the language here. When we say solve for R, what does it mean when we say solve for R? R with the radius in this case, but what step? Isolate R. Just get R by itself, please, would you? Get R by itself. And in this case, C, circumference, is equal to 2 pi R. Could you get R by itself? Please. And we say, sure. How can we get R by itself? We will. What do we do with the 2 pi? Because 2 pi is stuck with R at the moment. How can we get rid of the 2 pi? Divide it. And that's the answer. Okay, make sure you know the language. The language asks you to, hey, please get R by itself. You're like, oh, sure. My pleasure. Let me get things out of the way. Okay, let me get things out of the way. And number 6, we say, oh, could you please get rid of the stuff next to y, please? I got some stuff here. We got the 2x here. We got a -3 right here. Could you get them all out of the picture next to y? We say, sure. We say, sure. So what do we do? What do we get rid of first? Should we get rid of 2x or the -3 first? 2x. Right? It's like peeling an onion. Like this is the core of the onion. So you want to do it from the outside and then inward. So we say, all right, get rid of this first. By subtracting. And then what do we do? To get rid of -3, we need to divide by -3. So divide by -3 on both sides. So we have. So now I want to just show you the thought process over here. -3 is the common denominator for those two terms in the numerator. So that means we can always split it. And the reason I would split it is because that gives you a nicer number. We love nicer numbers, simpler numbers. Okay, so you have -4 plus 2/3 x. The x could be written in the middle or next to the 2, just not anywhere next to 3. Okay, if you write it too close to 3, that would cause some confusion. Easy, right? I hope it's easy for you. Now, for the remaining questions on this page, it's very straightforward. But I just need you to do one. I just need you to do one thing for me and for yourself. First, we say, hey, please go ahead and find out the value of y when we give you the value of x. So we say, hey, that's the equation. X is there. Now, do one thing together. Okay? Do one thing together. Use parentheses, and then you put the 4 inside the parentheses. Please do that. Okay? And then you can go ahead and solve and see if you can get the right answer. Go ahead, try it out. What do you have? -19? Yeah? Okay. So y is equal to -19. Easy. Now, what I want to show you here, it's a habit of using parentheses whenever you have to do some sort of substitution. Please make sure that you use parentheses. And that will come in very handy, especially when you try to substitute a negative number, like in this case. You can actually write down everything else, and then you write down what x is equal to at the very end. In this case, like this. Oh, I should write something more. Forgot it should be negative 16 and then minus 3. That's negative 19. Okay, just to fill it in with the details here. So over here, what is negative 4 squared? 16, right? Not negative 16, but 16. But then there's a negative staying on the outside of it. So that's why you have negative 16. The 16 itself comes from the square of negative 4, but there's still a negative that's waiting on the outside. So therefore, for this answer, it is also negative 19. Okay, it's also negative 19. So practicing good notation would be very useful, very helpful. And for number 9, again, use parentheses. Okay, I'm going to let you take care of it. Okay, I'm going to let you take care of it. Is it also negative 19? It's not. What is it this time? 13 is correct because it's 16 minus 3. Okay, so very straightforward, nothing too challenging right here. Okay, so it's just good notation. Okay, good notation, get the first few steps right, and it will be easy, wonderful, easy. Okay, now let's go ahead, turn to the next page.